Next up, we have a surprise. We're not really sure what it is, but we're hoping that Janice does because it's her.
Okay, that was my cousin. I'm kidding. So I'm in ECU right now, and I get to read to little kids. So I thought that I would read one of my favorite books to you guys.
Yes!
Okay.
We are all sitting on the floor. Oh,
You know, okay. You don't know me well enough. One day, Thomas's mother brought him a brand new snowsuit. When Thomas saw the snowsuit, he said, "That's the ugliest thing I've seen in my life. If you think I'm going to wear that, you're crazy." Thomas's mother said, "We'll see about that." The next day, when it was time to go to school, Thomas's mother said, "Thomas, please put on your snowsuit." And Thomas said, "No!" His mother jumped up and down and said, "Thomas, put on that snowsuit." And Thomas said, "No!" So Thomas's mother picked up Thomas in one hand and picked up the snowsuit in the other hand, and she tried to stick them together. She had an enormous fight, and when it was done, Thomas was in his snowsuit. Thomas went off to school and hung up his snowsuit. When it was time to go outside, all the kids jumped into their snowsuits and ran out the door. But not Thomas. The teacher looked at Thomas and said, "Thomas, put on your snowsuit." And Thomas said, "No!" The teacher jumped up and down and said, "Thomas, put on that snowsuit." You all had teachers like that. And Thomas said, "No!" So the teacher picked up Thomas. So the teacher picked up Thomas in one hand, picked up the snowsuit in the other hand, and she tried to stick them together. They had an enormous fight. And when they were done, the teacher was wearing Thomas's snowsuit, and Thomas was wearing the teacher's dress. The teacher saw me. Do you want me to continue with the story? Yes! Then you have to be quiet. When the teacher saw what she was wearing, she picked up Thomas in one hand and tried to get him back into his snowsuit. They had an enormous fight. And when they were done, the snowsuit and the dress were tied in a great big knot on the floor. And Thomas and the teacher were both in their underwear. Just then, the door opened, and in walked the principal. I know it's an exciting book, boys and girls, but you really need to pay attention. Sorry, Miss Moffat. The teacher said, "It's Thomas. He won't put on his snowsuit." The principal gave his very best principal look and said, "Thomas, put on your snowsuit." And Thomas said, "No!" So the principal picked up Thomas in one hand and picked up the teacher in the other hand and he tried to get them back together into their clothes. And when he was done, the principal was wearing the teacher's dress, the teacher was wearing the principal's suit, and Thomas was still in his underwear. Then, from far from the playground, someone yelled, "Thomas, come and play!" Thomas ran across the room, jumped into his snowsuit, got into his boots, and in 2 seconds, ran out the door. What's going to happen? The principal looked at the teacher and said, "Hey, you have all my suits. Take it off right now." And the teacher said, "Oh no, you have all my dress. You take it off first." Well, they argued and argued, but neither one wanted to change first. Finally, Thomas came in from recess. He looked at the principal, and he looked at the teacher. Thomas picked up the principal in one hand. Sorry, let's keep picking up principal. Sidebar. Picked up the teacher in the other hand, and they had an enormous fight. And everybody got back into their clothes. And the next day, the principal quit his job and moved to Arizona, where nobody wears snowsuits. The
Thank you, Miss Moffat.
Thank you, Miss Moffat.
Okay, so judges, what type of weather did that performance remind you of? That's the question.
Definitely a snowstorm.
Yeah.